players in double figures. I don't know if we've had that this year, Liz, have we? Yeah, so this is the first time we've had 6 in double figures. So really did a great job of sharing the basketball, I thought. 28 assists on 35 made field goals it's impressive. I thought they were really locked in. I think, we've had a tough road. We were 3 in the hole coming into this game, and knowing what, it was a big day for us to be back on our home court and be able to try to work our way back. So I'm super proud of the effort tonight. We've got to do a better job in third quarter. We let them, cut into that lead. They got it to 7, I think they did. But I thought we fought back hard after that timeout and worked our way back up to a nice difference.
Naturally, the triple-double by Tony was big, but to me the big news of the game was the scoring you got from your bench and the job they did.
Yeah. Well, Tiana Thompson, and I'll start with her because, she's a young woman who comes in here, and you got a lot of guard play, and kids come out of high school, they want to play, I get it. But she is a really good example of trust your process. We had conversations about it, and all she's done is put her head down and worked. And you just have to trust your process. And her, she was ready when her number was called, and I'm super proud of her for that.
More on that third quarter, it felt like in that moment it was like that was a spot where you had to respond to make sure it didn't get out of hand because they were finding buckets. Like it was like a 12-2 run they had from a 20-point lead down, and then so just how did you feel about how that came together at the end of the quarter there? Yeah,
well, we came out of halftime and we knew they were going to come back. We knew they were going to come and try to punch us, and they did. Put their head down and we're just heading downhill. And so we weren't quite ready for it and called a timeout, talked about it. And it just is a matter of you cannot allow teams in this conference an inch. You can't give them an inch. You cannot have any kind of letdown. But we got ourselves back together and then started making stops, and we got running. So our transition game was really good tonight, but because we were making defensive stops. So that's what I think turned it around for us in the third quarter.
Talking about that transition, your defensive rebounding was really good, and that the thing you noticed the most was that your team was beating them down the court, and you got a lot of easy buckets because you out-hustled them.
Yep. I mean, we've got some kids that are pretty athletic that can rebound. I mean, look at Tony has 12 rebounds. That's, to me, it just continues to amaze me how that kid can do so many phases of the game. But when you get 12 rebounds, 11 defensive rebounds, that's really focused attention on and being intentional about what you're trying to do. So, but we ask a lot of Tony, and tonight she responded big time.
How much was that Notre Dame game a good learning lesson to go into a game like this? We're obviously not the same ranked caliber of opponent, but at least you feel those kind of teams that can really push you to your max, and when you're down in players too.
Yeah, you have, no matter who you're playing, I don't care what they're ranked, I don't care where you're playing them at, you just have to compete. It's all about competitive energy, and that's what bleeds into everything else. You just have to compete hard. Notre Dame was a tough setting for us, and that I thought there were moments we competed hard, but we're continuing to learn the lesson. You compete hard for 40 minutes, and that's we'll continue to learn that lesson as we go. But I thought that the experience there. Someone told me this is Nell. Y'all are experiencing operational experience. You're getting operational experience that's going to serve you well down the road. And what's right, because everything is a learning experience. We're trying to play for something big, right? So we have to learn lessons everywhere we can. And so playing under duress, playing in a hostile environment, playing a high-level team. Look, we played well at Notre Dame. We hit numbers analytically that we were trying to hit. We hit them. But when you go on the road and you're playing a top 3 team, top 10 team, you got to surpass that. So we'll continue working.
You talked about the the assists per buckets, it seems like your team is doing a lot better job now of making use of the bounce pass instead of trying to, just toss the ball. And opponents really aren't looking for that bounce pass, and it makes for, easier assists for your team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, that hopefully they're making the right pass at the right time. Maybe it's a bounce pass, maybe it's not. I don't know. But, the whole idea of that is just to make the right pass at the right time. Because I always look at turnovers and go, we shouldn't have made that pass, whatever. But no, I thought we did a really good job feeding people today. But Tony was outstanding.
I know you had mentioned wanted to get the building filled up. I believe this was the third largest crowd
How about it?
ever.
Yeah, man.
And biggest since the renovation into McCamish as well. So, talk about
Absolutely.
being in a building like that today.
Absolutely. It's phenomenal. I'm super proud. And I got to give a shout out to let me tell you, my director of recruiting operations, Caleb Courier. There were how many high school teams? 83 high school teams. And that's him working it to get them here because there's a big high school tournament in Atlanta. They played yesterday. They're playing tomorrow. So they had today off. He got them all here. Now, that's a big undertaking. So Caleb really, he stepped up big time on that. So super proud of him with that. And also Ashley, my director of basketball ops. That's people doing work right there because you got to do those things. But look, it was a great crowd. It was great energy. So hopefully a lot of those people will come back.
Does not having Danni available make your offense work a little harder, using all the things you have built into your offense?
Well, it's just different because we have to do some things a little bit differently when Danni's not on the floor because she can spread the floor a lot for us. She makes it more difficult for a defense to defend us. And when she's not on the floor, that's a really good three-point shooter off of the floor, so we have to run more actions. And so and we've had to spend time working on those actions because we weren't when she was healthy. So, but again, it's operational experience. It's made us do some other things that will come back and help us in the future.
I think with that, so much more scoring in the paint the last couple of games too, not as much of that outside shooting today, especially in the first half. It just felt like y'all could just find anything you want down there. How is that? Has that been a goal to work more on getting closer to the
Absolutely. We were really focused on trying to attack the rim. We were wanting to attack the rim and finish at the rim. And you can get there, but you've got to finish. Sometimes it gets big in there and it's hard to finish over them. But I thought today we did a good job. Shooting the ball, 59% today? That's pretty good. That's pretty nice.
Injury-wise, is Danni still day-to-day?
Yeah, just day-to-day. Yep. Day-to-day. All right. Thanks, y'all.